Mr. Revolver Guy with DayAtTheRange.com. Back in the reloading layer with the Ruger American Rimfire Limited Edition. Yes, folks, that is correct. I still have the sticker on the stock. Though it has been out to a range a few times, I decided to talk a little bit about the features in which that makes this a limited edition that Ruger has released a couple of years ago. But before we go into that feature set and what attracted me to this rifle and why, let's do our customary safety check. Bolt to the rear, magazine out, magazine's empty, nothing in the chamber. We'll rack the bolt a couple times to make sure. Nothing in the chamber, magazine's empty, weapon is safe. So Ruger American Rimfire, what makes this a limited edition? First and foremost, we'll start off with the stock. You will only find this olive drab green stock on the limited edition. Along with that, additional feature sets are, in the standard version on this limited edition, the barrel is threaded. Really nice and smooth. We'll take your standard 22 suppressor threads. I have shot this with the Gemtech 22, and I will be shooting it with the Gemtech 22 again today. So I originally got this rifle and was looking for something to hunt varmint with. And I decided to put an affordable Weaver scope with side adjustable focus that goes all the way down to 50 yards and upwards to infinity. I figure I probably won't be getting close to any varmint, squirrel, rabbit, anything of that nature under 50 yards. So the scope proves out. It is nice and clear, first and foremost, and works quite well for the setup. I have had it out at the range, like I said before. But back to the Ruger American Limited Edition. So outside of the barrel being threaded, you do have a somewhat heavy barrel set on this over the traditional standard. Also along with this, the one thing I checked for right inside the store, took a dollar bill out of my wallet and ran it down in between the stock and the barrel on my 300 blackout, as I've blogged about on my site, DayAtTheRange.com. You all know that that was not free floated. The barrel was not free floated on the 300 blackout, and I had to take some sandpaper to it to get it free floated. And definitely after free floating that barrel, it shoots a lot better. On this particular model, the Ruger American Rimfire, the barrel is free floated. Even though it looks really, really close there, the barrel is free floated, is not touching up to the receiver. This rifle will not shoot, and I know I'll probably get questions, it won't shoot 22 short or anything of that nature. If it was magazine or tube fed, I'm sorry, if it was tube fed, it probably will. But this uses the traditional 10-22 magazine, which I'm really, really thrilled about. It uses the traditional 10-22 magazine. Of course, 22 short won't fit in here. So working our way back to the receiver, the biggest thing, there's a couple of things on the receiver that I really, really like about this rifle. First and foremost is the scope rail. The scope rail on this rifle is machined into the receiver. It is not threaded into the receiver by screws. It is machined directly into the receiver, which makes for a really, really strong mount. Also on the receiver, or actually not part of the receiver, but the bolt in and of itself, something that I really, really like, is the heavy knob. The knob is a little bit heavier and square, as you can see there, than the traditional round knob that comes on the standard Ruger American Rimfire. Also on the receiver, you've got the safety switch on the tang of the receiver. Up to fire, pull it down to the rear to safe. Nothing happens. Up to fire, I'm not gonna pull the trigger because I don't have any snap caps in there. I don't like to dry fire any of my 22s at all. So I'll put it back on safe. From there, we work our way back to the magazine. As I've stated, the standard 22 magazine, 1022 magazine, which makes it very handy. What I really like about it is it will work with the BX25, and now Ruger has a BX15. It will work, snaps right in, just like the traditional. I have used it with the BX25, this particular BX25, and you're talking about all day fun. 25 rounds of plinking, if you will, or 25 rounds of hunting. If you're in that kind of fertile ground looking for squirrel or rabbit and you're just that good of a shot, you have 25 rounds, no need to reload. It does take, again, the BX25, which makes for a ton of fun on the range. I don't like when hunting to have anything extended outside of the rifle stock, so I always go out with the standard 1022 magazine inside so that it's flush and flat, doesn't catch on anything. It does have the extended, right there, magazine release as well to this Ruger American Rimfire. Then also, let's talk about the trigger a little bit. To some of you, that trigger might look, like the Savage trigger, the Savage Accu trigger. It is not. It is Ruger's own version, Marksman trigger. Again, sort of looks like the Savage trigger, if you will, the Savage Accu trigger, but it is the Ruger Marksman trigger. What's interesting about this trigger, and something else, one of the features that drew me to this particular rifle, is that this trigger is fully adjustable down to 3 pounds. On my trigger scale, on the Lyman digital trigger scale, it's coming out to about 3.85 pounds is what I've got it reduced down to. It can go a little bit more, but that's okay for me for a hunting rifle. I don't want a really, really light trigger on my hunting rifle, and right there it doesn't seem to hurt accuracy too much. Last but not least on this rifle, before we get out to the range, you have the adjustable buttstock. How is this buttstock adjustable, you ask? Well, you have to remove the sling swivel stud here at the rear. This comes out, and you put another buttstock on top of this. They do offer 2. What's interesting about this particular buttstock or this particular rifle, it does not come with both buttstocks as the standard model does. The standard model comes with 2 of these, one with a low cheek rest and one with a high cheek rest. This one came with a high cheek rest. Again, interesting about this buttstock, you can lengthen the length of pull, or it is adjustable via length of pull as well for those that might have kids and need a shorter one, shorter length of pull, or those like me that have really big meat hooks and long arms, you get a longer length of pull. But again, I am not sure if 2 are supposed to come with the limited edition or not. My guess is it was a way to keep down cost and they did not include 2, but 2 is included in the standard rifle. It does come, again, sling swivel stud here and a sling swivel stud up top on the fore end of the stock. Outside of that, that is the Ruger American Rimfire limited edition. Let's get out to the range and see what we can do with accuracy with some newly in Federal Hunter Match ammunition. Hunter Match ammunition for a Hunter Rimfire, right? It's only supposed to be a match, but we will only know after we get out to the range and test for accuracy. As I promised, finishing up the video with another hunter I use on varmints, Smith & Wesson model 617. We're going to take 6 shots down range at the target, see what we do at 50 yards. I haven't shot revolver in a while, which is a shame. Been pumping out the videos, but we're finishing up for the revolver fanatics out there in classic style. Smith & Wesson model 617, finishing up on the range today after shooting the Ruger American Rimfire limited edition, finishing it up in classic style. Mr. Revolver Guy, dayattherange.com.